Rocafella. New claims from 50 Cent and Damon Dash bring old Jay-Z beef into the light. Jay-Z may be the most famous husband in the world right now, but before he was hubby of the year to Beyonce, he was a notorious New York rapper who had beef with some of the biggest names in hip-hop at the time. While he's mostly retired from the rap game now and is focused on being a father to his 3 kids, recently some dirt from the past has come to light, making fans wonder if it's just jealousy from peers who haven't reached his success, or a darker past that Jay doesn't want to see the light. Is Jay-Z hiding something? Or are washed-out rappers from his time in the limelight just angry that they can't reach the throne? Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Corey Carter, was born and raised in New York City, which has always influenced his sound and style, as well as inspired some of his most iconic songs. In his first few albums, Jay mentioned how hard growing up in the projects of New York City could be, including his experiences with street drugs and gang violence. The rapper started his career in the 80s and quickly made a name for himself working with some of the most important producers of the time, including Sean Combs, Diddy, and DJ Premier. During this early part of his career, he would also meet and work with future stars, including Kanye West, Rihanna, MIA, and of course, Beyonce. As we all know, in the early 2000s, the Watch the Throne rapper met Beyonce Knowles, and rumor has it, he immediately fell crazy in love with her ambitious attitude and gorgeous voice. In 2001, the couple made it official, and in 2008, they married in a very private ceremony. Since then, the 2 superstars have been inseparable, despite cheating rumors and various other scandals. Beyonce, who was already a rising star in her own right, certainly gained some fame from being tied to the slightly older and more successful rapper, but Jay-Z also benefited by having a beautiful and talented girl on his arm who was the current darling of the music industry. While Jay-Z had promoted himself as a pretty hard guy in his music, dating Beyonce gave fans a closer look into the softer side of the rapper. In 2012, after revealing her first pregnancy to the world at the 2011 MTV Music Awards, Beyonce gave birth to her and Jay-Z's first child, Blue Ivy. Right away, Jay released his song Glory that celebrated the arrival of Blue and also gave fans previously unknown details about Beyonce's pregnancy journey and how hard it was for the couple. Beyonce suffered a miscarriage before she had Blue, which her husband explains in the song was devastating for them both. Thankfully, since then, the couple has had 2 more happy and healthy children, Sir and Rumi, twins who were born on June 13, 2017. The talent in the family doesn't seem to have stopped with the parents either, as this year, Blue Ivy went on tour with her mother and showed the world her dance skills and attitude are right on par with the rest of her gifted family. Fortunately for the fans, even fatherhood couldn't make Jay-Z forget his passion for lyricism and fantastic beats, and the rapper has released 3 albums since Blue's birth, although one was a collaborative effort with Beyonce and featured on countless other successful songs from artists like Kanye West, Drake, and Pusha T. In 2023, Jay was supposed to host and perform at his Made in America festival in Philadelphia over Labor Day weekend, but the event was canceled due to circumstances outside of production's control. That being said, he did perform his newest and longest verse from DJ Khaled's song God Did at the 2023 Grammy Awards, so it's safe to say that Jay is nowhere near retirement, at least for now. Unfortunately for him, not everyone is as happy about that as his fans are. In fact, some of his peers are using his continued fame to bring old beef from the past back into the light. One of the people trying to discredit or shade Jay-Z and his continued success is Damon Dash, who might sound familiar to you if you were a Jay fan in the late 90s and early 2000s. In 1995, Jay-Z and Dash started Rocafella Records with a few associates to help get Jay's music out to the public and establish themselves as a record label. For a time, everything between Dash and Jay-Z was great, and collaboratively they signed a bunch of young, talented artists who would go on to make huge hits. However, rumors that Dash's fame was going to his head, accompanied by whispers that Jay-Z was thinking of retiring or leaving the label, caused things to come crashing down in the early 2000s. In 2003, Jay-Z agreed to become president of Def Jam Recordings, and the company bought out the remaining shares of Rocafella, leaving Jay as president with his masters in hand and Damon Dash with a lot of disgruntled artists and no direction. But was it really all Jay's fault? Die-hard fans of his say there's more to the story. Truly, Roc-A-Fella was only one of the problems that came up in Jay-Z's and Damon Dash's long relationship. Another, which some claim is more important, was their beef over women. If you don't remember, Aaliyah, may she rest in peace, was involved with both of the rappers after her abusive relationship with R. Kelly came to an end. In 1999, after her marriage to the criminal was annulled, in 1995, Aaliyah was romantically linked to Jay-Z, and it seemed like the two would be the next it couple in the hip-hop world. Instead, Damon Dash entered the scene and some say stole Aaliyah off Jay-Z, creating friction between them and losing some of Jay's respect. It's even rumored that years later, when Beyonce and Jay-Z were an item, Dash wasn't allowed to be around the superstar because of his constant attempts to steal her from her man. If this is true, it's no wonder that Jay-Z was more than willing to move on to Def Jam and leave Dash and Roc-A-Fella in the dust. You'd think that after doing something as bold as stealing your friend's girl, you'd at least keep quiet about the relationship after it ended, but Dash did no such thing. Even in 2023, Dash is still coming after Jay for working with R. Kelly, Aaliyah's abuser, twice after her untimely death in 2001. In an interview in June 2023, Dash claimed that Jay-Z was wrong for working with R. Kelly on two projects, The Best of Both Worlds in 2002 and Unfinished Business in 2004. The record executive, who has made somewhat of a name for himself giving saucy interviews about others in the music industry, claimed that Jay-Z knew R. Kelly had physically abused Aaliyah when they were together, but chose to work with him anyway. Dash even went as far as saying this was the real reason Roc-A-Fella broke up, since he couldn't morally continue to work with the rapper. That being said, other artists who were involved with Roc-A-Fella at the time claim that Dash is only looking for fame, and that his moral high horse is ridiculous. It is worth mentioning that Dash did appear in one of Jay-Z and R. Kelly's music videos, Fiesta, despite his protests. Beanie Sigel, a previous exec at Roc-A-Fella, says the label dissolved mostly due to Damon Dash's obsession with media and fame after the label's first few successes. According to Sigel, Dash was more interested in looking flashy, going on lavish trips, spending company money, and giving unapproved interviews to the press, which didn't make him very popular with Jay-Z or the rest of the label. Despite Dash's declarations that Def Jam record executive Liar Cohen was behind most of his feud with Jay, it looks to many fans like Dash created the problem himself and then played victim when it didn't go his way. Those same fans have also pointed out that Jay rarely speaks on Roc-A-Fella or Dash, while the ex-executive gives several interviews a year about Jay-Z, the record label, and others he sees as roadblocks to his success. Is it possible that Dash is just bitter and angry, and that his anger over Aaliyah is just another way to attack Jay-Z? Or is all of this a performance? Is Dash just doing anything he can to stay relevant? If so, he isn't the only old rival to step up to the plate this year against the Magna Carta rapper. Nope. In fact, the other rapper with beef against Jay-Z right now goes back almost as far as Dash, starting way back in 1999. That year, 50 Cent put out the track How to Rob, and in one verse claimed he would rob his fellow rapper Jay-Z if he got the chance. In return, Hov dropped his iconic song It's Hot, which dissed 50 in no uncertain terms. From there, a rivalry would start that's still going today, although it's more one-sided now than it was way back then. In 2009, a year after Jay's marriage to pop diva Beyonce, 50 claimed that Hov had gone soft and that his new sound made him too approachable, which is why Lil Mama felt comfortable crashing his VMAs performance with Alicia Keys. That same year, 50 proudly told an interviewer that Jay-Z could outsell him album-wise in America because America could be bought, but the rest of the world knew he was no competition for 50. He continued the commentary years later in criticism of Jay-Z's 444 album, calling it too smart and spitefully saying it sounded like golf course music. As usual, Jay hasn't bothered to respond to 50's jabs since 2007, but the In the Club rapper hasn't stopped trying to get a reaction from him yet. This year, in an interview with XXL, 50 made the widely disputed claim that Jay-Z has only received so many Grammy Awards due to his marriage to Beyonce. However, eagle-eyed fans have pointed out that all this criticism for Jay-Z started when he was recognized by the Brooklyn Library for his achievements earlier this year. Is all of this conflict just jealousy from artists who didn't make it? Or is Jay-Z not the benevolent billionaire some think he is? Sound off in the comments and let us know what you think. And don't forget to tune in here for more true celebrity stories.